Yeah, it's a tough way for the game to end. But there's nothing to be upset about with the end of the game. The foul before our last possession put us in a tough situation because we had the advantage of the shot clock. It's a tough play. I thought Collin was pressuring the ball pretty well, but those are some of the breaks of the game. The second half was, I thought, amazing effort. I thought we made it a big adjustment. They had 20 points in the paint in the first quarter. It took us a minute to adjust to their pace. I thought we were a little bit slow, just a little sluggish as a group, but I think the energy continued to pick up, and they scored 14 points in the paint in the second half and 2 in transition, and I thought we took care of a lot of the little things in the second half. Guys played really hard, moved the ball. I thought a bunch of guys played well tonight, and Trae Young made a half-court shot. It's one that we'll watch film, and there'll be things to teach, like there always is. But this is one you just kind of shake their hand and move on. It was a hell of a finish and an incredible shot.
When it comes to Walker's offensive rebounds, I know we've talked a lot about his weight gain and stuff. Is he doing anything positionally different to kind of give him more of an advantage as well?
He's doing a better job of just staying on the top side and using his length. I think lately, the last couple of weeks, he's done a much better job of just tipping the ball and keeping it alive. Some of those plays where you try to swim move around people, they're kind of all or nothing. One, because you have to pick a side. And 2, there's a chance the ball goes over your head. A lot of times with Walker's length and the added strength that he has, he's able to wedge people in a little bit and then just use his length over the top. I think there have been a ton of plays where he's just kept the ball in the air.
Seems like Lauri's maybe a little bit more active defensively lately,
Mm-hmm.
especially with his hands. Is that something that's been a point of emphasis, or how has that been developing?
Yeah, Lauri's competing at a really high level. He understands that he has to help set a standard, and I think that, he's been challenged on the defensive end, and I think his activity and competitiveness have been outstanding. Lauri has been focusing a lot on his body position, but I do agree his hands have been much more active lately. I think our team has been much more active lately with our hands, which is a trend we would like to continue.
Cody seemed to be a little aggressive. You even had him run a little bit of the offense late in that third or early in the fourth. How would you assess how he did in those situations?
Yeah, I think Cody did great. He's making a lot of good decisions. I think that's the first thing that we want to continue to develop with Cody and with all of our young players is the decision-making element. Whether the shot actually goes in or not is an afterthought for me. It's about playing within the scope of the team, using your skill set, and trying to help us generate good shots. I think Cody's done a good job of that. I think the time in the G League has really helped him, getting a lot of opportunities to handle the ball, make decisions, which he didn't really have much of a chance to early in the season with us. So I'm really happy with his progress.
To go off Cody a little bit more, you talk about a lot of young guys making an impact in a lot of different ways other than scoring. What did you see from Cody tonight, especially late in that game?
Yeah, I think Cody's using his length really well. He's active defensively. He's obviously being put on some primary matchups, which I think is really good for him. I also think that, through the conversations with Cody that you have during the game, timeouts, dead balls, and at practice, it's very apparent that he's a fast learner. His ability to absorb information and apply it to the game has been really good, and it showed up a lot lately because when you go and you're with the G League team, you're not there for every shoot around or every practice when tweaks are made, new things are put in, and so sometimes when you come back, there's a pretty steep learning curve, and I think Cody's handled it really well.
What did you get from Patty Mills tonight?
Exactly what I expected. Just a lot of energy. He's a very passionate competitor. He's an all-time teammate. He's just pumping the guys up, trying to inspire them with his energy. He got hot early, which I think was a big lift for our team. I think Patty's a guy that the team has a ton of respect for because they not only do they know how long he's been in the NBA, but they see the work that he continues to do every day, how he carries himself, how he still prepares, whether he's in the rotation or not. And he's such a great sounding board for our young players as they're navigating the beginning parts of their career. And so when he gets to go out there on the court and be in the fight with them, I think it's a big lift for our energy.
He still jumps in and takes charges.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a dying art in the NBA. What is it from guys who take charges, and what does that do for you?
Yeah, he's always had a knack for those plays. The fact that he's still putting his body on the line every night, it just speaks to who he is. But if you ask Patty, the last 2 games, he's having a ball. Like he's so energized to be out there and playing with these guys. He's a person who just truly loves to play basketball, and him taking charges is not a shock to me. I've gotten to see him do that a lot over the years. It for sure is a dying art. People are afraid of getting dunked on and ending up on social media. Patty's not.
You expected 14 shots?
9 shots in the first 6 minutes.
Ah, man. Yeah, it's great. Maybe I'm just numb to that because I've been around Patty for a long time. I've seen that rate of shot attempts before. So, yeah, I didn't know he took 14 shots till right now. But, yeah, it's just Patty.
Again, 9 in the first 6.
Hey, nobody else had it going. Thanks.
Lauri, is there anything to be done or to be said about that last shot?
It's the NBA. Good players sometimes make shots like that, and he's obviously one of them. And yeah, it sucks to lose that way, but it's part of it. Sometimes he makes it. I mean, maybe if you start nitpicking, we can. I didn't really even see. I think he just dribbled into it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna nitpick, but like, if you had to come up with something, maybe you make him try to speed him up. But then there's always you can foul him, and like, that's a tough shot. And kudos to him.
And then, I mean, right before that, it looked like that was kind of a broken play that Collin kind of swiped the ball and went out, and he made a big shot.
Yeah, right. He put us in that position. We had a play drawn up that they kind of got us. I mean, that was one of our looks to if they switched that down screen and Walker Duck came in and pass wasn't completed, and then Collin made a great play and gave us a chance. And sucks for him as well to make a shot like that and not get to overtime too. You always feel like you're going to win it in overtime if you just get there, but it is what it is.
What is Walker doing differently this year to make him such an effective offensive rebounder?
Obviously, we play a different position. I don't really be in the dunker. Maybe there's some positioning himself better. Maybe you can ask him that question. But I think he's just playing with. To me, it just looks like he's playing with force and really attacking the offensive rebound every time and not getting discouraged of you use a lot of energy to go for after a ball and then you don't get it, and now next time you don't want to spend that energy. I think he's consistent with the energy, and even if he doesn't get it, he keeps the ball alive and gives us extra possessions, and obviously a lot of times he get it as well. So to me, it looks like he's just relentless with his effort and keep going after it. And positioning wise, you can ask him if there's some. Maybe I can use that advice as well.
It seems like you've been a little bit more active defensively, maybe with like your hands. Will said that maybe you've been working a little bit on your positioning defensively. How much of an emphasis has defense been for you recently?
I mean, you always put the reps in practice and watch film. I don't really know if there's specifically anything I've changed, but just trying to. We've talked about it with the team and with the coaches, and sometimes you just don't have to be perfect, and you just go make a play on the ball and be aggressive, and you make a mistake, but at least you're loud with your communication and going after a ball, and then get them out of their rhythm and stuff, and then we'll fix it, the system part after that. But just trying to be more disruptive and make them do something that they don't really want to do. So.
Do you feel like there's kind of a responsibility for you to like stand up on that end?
Yeah, I mean, in every other game, I feel like there's a responsibility for me to show the way for the young guys and really try to bring it every night, and that's how I look at it. And yeah, I think that.
Guys like you and Trey or some of the better shooters in the league, do you get a sense of like a shot's going to go in as soon as it leaves your hand, and like does that extend back to half court? How dialed in are you? Do you think as a shooter?
Yeah, you always believe it's going in, and most of the shots it actually feel, even though you miss it, and then still feels good out of your hand, and then can't really be disappointed if you've have your balance right, and then you follow through your shot and feels good, and then hits the back rim. Sometimes that's the case, but 90% of the shots I feel like it's going in, but trying to work on especially when you've made a couple, then you're looking after you get cross half court, you're always looking where you can try to squeeze a couple off, and they're not going to be open looks after you made 6, 7, 8 threes. Like it's just you just got to try to find a little windows to make them, and then obviously they're tougher shots, but again, you do the same preparation on those shots as well, and unfortunately missed the last couple, so they felt good.
What sort of added experience, wisdom does Patty Mills bring to the group?
I think like just being calm. It doesn't always look like that because he keeps moving so darn fast, but he's poised and kind of talking to us, and he's under control, and he tells us a lot of what he sees on the court, even when he's not playing, and I think guys listen. He's obviously seen a lot being at the mountaintop, and so at least I try to learn as much as I can from him and just pick his brain a little bit.
All right, you guys good? Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Lauri.
Good questions.
Collin, from your perspective, how did those last 4 seconds go down?
Honestly, he made a tough shot. I feel like I could have pressured him up a little bit, but you got to live with those at the end of the day. If you make it, you make it. You miss him, like it's just it went in. If he shoot it 3, 4 more times, I'm gonna do the same exact thing. So.
What is that roller coaster of emotions like, hitting the game tire and then seeing that one go in?
Honestly, it's not too bad. Just because at the end of the day, you got to have next play mentality. But for him to make that shot it does suck. But if it's anybody, I know him, Steph, some other guys. Yeah, those 2 guys for sure are gonna make it for sure.
You've hit a lot of big shots late in games, including tonight. Do
Yeah.
you believe in like the clutch gene?
Honestly, I'm not afraid of failure. At the end of the day, if I miss, I miss. But 9 times out of 10, I feel like it's going in every time. So at the end of the day, like you can't be afraid of those moments, and you gotta you got to shoot it to make it. If it misses, then we live it, and we go home and just know that, like, I had the guts to shoot it.
Have you always had that?
Always. Always. At the end of the day, if people screaming and yelling at me for missing it, okay, I'll take it and move on. That's just how I'm built. I feel like I can't be broken. So.
Did you say anything to Trey afterwards?
No, not really. Just good battle. I tried to make it hard on him tonight. Pressuring him tonight. He made a few tough shots, but I feel like I did a really good job on him. So.
It seemed like you guys were, I mean, for lack of a better term, like just having a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah.
Was it a fun game for you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just feel like over the past couple weeks, we've just been having a little bit more fun out there, and I feel like the ball is being popped around, and we're sharing it, and it's fun. At the end of the day, when everybody's able to touch the ball and get shots here and there, then you get a little bit more effort on the defensive end, and you get guys running back just because they know, like, okay, next time down, I might get a shot. So.
With your record, that almost seems like a surprise you have that much buy-in from
Yeah.
everybody. What is, like, Will or the team doing in general to, like, create that environment?
I would say Coach Will just always saying show love. Show love to your teammate. Pick them up when they're down. Don't always scream and yell at them when sometimes you need to just go over there, give them a pat on the back, give them a hug, and let them know, like, we're with them. And I feel like that right there just shows a big part of where we are as a team, and it just also shows that no matter the record, we're gonna come in and fight each and every game. I'm not sure the points of what we've been losing by, but I feel like we haven't been just getting blown out. Yeah, so.
You look at it in tonight's game and even like the last couple games, but you guys have been able to make a lot of really specific in-game adjustments.
Yeah.
Tonight, beginning of the game, points in the paint, you guys fixed that really quickly.
Oh yeah.
What does that say about your team being able to make those adjustments compared to maybe a couple months ago?
Yeah. Honestly, I would just say just taking the challenge. At the end of the day, in-game adjustments are huge in this league. You have to be able to change things on the fly. You can't just go the whole 48 minutes doing the same thing because everybody's really good. Teams are good. Coaches are good. They do their scouts. They do their game plans, so they know what works, what doesn't work, and in-game adjustments are huge.
The Trey shot, notwithstanding, was kind of a broken play. You came up with the ball before that to hit that big shot to tie the game. No timeout called, so is Will off the hook for the next one? Yeah. Coach is off the hook on that one. He let us play through it. But going back to Trey's shot, he hit two daggers. The one on the left wing, so that was 1-3, and then the half court, so 3 for 10. So hey, you gotta live with it and move on. And we got another one Thursday, so let's try to get that one.
Are you surprised when Patty puts in a performance like that, or is it something that you've seen before and you expect it?
At the end of the day, whenever Patty comes on the court, you know he's going to give it his all. Whenever he steps in between those lines, he's going to do whatever is needed. And I know Patty. If he's open, he's letting it fly. So listen. At the end of the day, I encourage him. I always be like rooting for him. We all have a really good relationship. And if I'm messing up, he comes to me, yo, like, you gotta wake up, or like he'll tell me some things in the game that I need to adjust. And me and Patty's relationship has grown since the beginning of the season, and I appreciate him for just being that extra coach on the bench, and that's why I tell him all the time.
There's a guy like Patty who comes in, and like you guys all know, he's won titles. He knows what it looks like. He's been on great teams. Like, does he just come in with kind of an air of respect, like you know that's a guy you want to learn from?
Absolutely. I just feel like Patty's someone that leads by example. At the end of the day, he does everything that is needed for his body. He does the right things, and he's never going to just be like, I played this amount of years, so I'm off the hook. He's coming in, running sprints with us, and he doesn't make excuses. So at the end of the day, anybody that ties their shoes up and works hard each and every day, that's somebody that I can go out and fight for each and every night.